Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news stream for the 12th of August 2023. It's that time already. I hope you all enjoyed that, the most recent video in my Gazelle tutorial series. That was all about how to pick it up into a hover taxi, take off, do some navigational flight, come back, land, and shut down. So we've now done kind of like the whole kind of loop, as it were, for a normal flight. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. I'll move on next week to covering weapon systems, which of course is the kind of stuff that people always really enjoy to see. Welcome to the stream, Tog. Welcome, Mr. Yeti. Ooh, in France. Bonjour, monsieur. FA-18 Super Hornet, an actual aircraft, is here watching. Fantastic. Welcome from Greece. About to consume some beer. James Fenton, welcome to the stream. Storm Kimbari, welcome. Darth Urso, Paul Dillon, Tea Kettle Barbecue, Colin Kelly, Charts, Pink Floyd. Welcome everybody to the stream. It's so nice to have you all aboard. So yes, as I said, I'm going to be continuing that series on the Gazelle, and almost certainly I will pop in the occasional bonus video for the F-15, the Mirage, and the Black Shark 3. Welcome Sandman, welcome Dancer, welcome everybody, all these fantastic people. It's always nice to have chat with me. Frisky Lime. So yes, what's been happening this week? What news do we have? Without any further ado, let's go and jump into the Eagle Dynamics newsletter. So, dear fighter pilots, partners, and friends, in case you missed it, make sure to watch Matt Wagner's interview with C.W. Lemoine over on the Ready Room YouTube channel, otherwise known as Mover. Our dedicated third-party partners, Crosstail Studios, have been hard at work refining the upcoming DCS A-1H Skyraider module. We are delighted to share some existing progress. This module is designed to captivate veterans and newcomers alike and brings the glory days of the Vietnam War. Glory of the Vietnam War, oh dear, back to life in stunning detail. Read on below and check out the development screenshots. The Growling Sidewinder is a truly excellent multiplayer environment designed to test your limits. After reaching over 500,000 subscribers, we are delighted to support them with a giveaway. Watch the video. Yeah, Growling Sidewinder. Some great content on there. I do enjoy that channel. You said, got to go, but we'll watch the replay. Oh, that's. I'm sorry you can't watch us live, but you know, hello again when you come to watch this later. Andre, is there a seat for me in the chopper? Well, the Gazelle is multi-crew, and it is possible to have both a pilot and a gunner. So yes, welcome only Napalm. Yeah, Darth Ursu, glory, question mark. Yeah, I also kind of reacted to that, the glory of the Vietnam War, really? We're gonna go there, but anyway. I'm not an American, so I you know, maybe I just don't understand. Maybe they meant gory, says Tog. Sean IM81, oh, I'm glad the A-H, oops, misspoke. There is an AH-1 being developed as well, but no, the A-1H isn't dead. Can't wait to fly as Sandy. Yes, I'm rather looking forward to this too. Yeah, I'm not really into the prop aircraft generally, and I'm not really into these earlier ones, but I would definitely make an exception for the A-1H. That's a pretty cool aircraft in my opinion. Colin Kelly, Movers and Ready Room stream with Wags was excellent and informative. It absolutely was. I was watching that yesterday. I'm actually going to cover it a little bit later in the new stream. They covered a lot of interesting stuff. People were asking Wags a lot of what I think were really good, pertinent questions. And it's always interesting to hear him speak. You know, he has a wealth of flight sim experience and knowledge. He's been in this game for quite some time. And yeah, it was just generally quite funny listening to them all interact. It was a bit of a laugh. And of course, we now know that. Oh no, what's his name? Is it Mongoose? Who's the guy? I've now completely forgotten the guy's name who appears at the bottom right in the stream. I'm going to very sneakily look that up quickly. Wombat, sorry, yes. Very, very exciting to hear that Wombat maybe is going to be ending up in the sim as the voice of the air boss. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, yes. Darth, I'm a Yank and I'm from Texas, still not Glory 07s. Yeah, I know. It's, like, what war truly is glorious? I don't know. Well, anyway, let's not get into that. But I don't really believe in glorifying conflict. Let's all just get along. Can't we all get along? We should do all of our combat in the flight simulator, not in the real. Wombat, thank you, everybody. Colin Kelly didn't know about his disability. What a story and inspiration. Yes, actually, I always, it was quite obvious from pictures and so on that he was in a wheelchair, but I never knew anything about his situation. So yeah, that's interesting. Cool. Anyway, moving on. The Ready Room podcast interview. Make sure you head over to the Ready Room and watch the latest interview with our very own Matt Wags Wagner. Their latest episode takes a closer look into some of the next big moves that we're making in DCS. There is a very good article in Stormbirds, as there almost always is, which covers the stream, and he actually lists some of the most pertinent stuff. So I'm actually going to go over that a little bit later in the stream. Frisky, heard people talk about the Eurofighter being added to DCS. What do you think? I don't know. I'm excited, obviously. I also like the fact that it's Heat Blur in collaboration with someone else, whose name I now can't remember, who will be bringing us the Eurofighter. So Heat Blur, of course, are an exceptionally experienced module developer. I think they'll do a really, really good job of putting the Eurofighter together. And then the company that they're actually collaborating with have a huge amount of subject matter expertise. And so I think it's kind of it's the perfect combination, in my opinion. Darth Urso, Frisky is our newest DCS pilot from Spain. Ooh, exciting. It's very good, very good. Yes. Has anyone noticed my flight suit? I cracked this out. I used to wear this flight suit when I was flying for the VAF. It even has my mirror image. It even has my my name tag on it. I was always intending to get VAF patches made up, and I think I may still do that at some stage. So next time you see me wearing this, I might even have proudly displayed somewhere here, wherever the VAF patch. But anyway, getting off topic. Next bit in the newsletter, A-1H Skyraider development progress. We are thrilled to present the latest developments from Crosstail Studios' A-1H Skyraider module. Their dedicated team has been working tirelessly, achieving remarkable progress in multiple aspects to deliver an extraordinary aviation simulation experience centered around this iconic aircraft, so loved by its pilots. Flight model advancements. Significant progress has been made to achieve a high level of FM realism, the seamless integration of ground effect and ground handling during taxiing provide an authentic feel to takeoffs and landings, while support for differential braking and a parking brake embraces the ground handling capabilities, ensuring precise maneuvering on the runway. With the newly initiated cockpit shaking effects, which accurately simulate engine vibration and atmospheric turbulence, you can immerse yourself in the thrill of aviation, making each flight a true adventure. The further refinement of drag calculations for the various control surfaces ensure realistic aircraft responsiveness and authentic flight realism. All control surface simulation is nearing completion and the hydraulic system is being implemented. Engine management, fuel consumption simulation, and the implementation of the onboard oxygen system are all progressing well. Additionally, the groundwork for the future autopilot features have been programmed, and the AN APR-22 radar altimeter is operational. Excellent. Heat blur simulations and true grit, isn't it? Says Tea Kettle Barbecue. Yes. For the Eurofighter, yes. FA-18 Super Horny, unrelated, but what is your opinion on the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro joystick? Does it work with Windows 11? Well, all USB, controllers are going to work with Windows 11. As for this particular stick, I've never even heard of it. So, sorry, no input whatsoever. My experience is mostly with Cytec, Thrustmaster, and Virpil. I've used many of their products. Keith, this is very exciting. Cold War era aircraft merge the need to fly the aircraft with reasonable weapon systems like missiles and submunitions while still being very vulnerable if you're not aware of SE. Very true. Very true. Moving on. High Poly Cockpit progress. The High Poly Cockpit is meticulously refined in every detail to create an unparalleled cockpit experience. The team of animators are also hard at work, adding lifelike animations to various cockpit elements, ensuring a truly immersive experience for every aviator. Furthermore, the skilled texturing artists are hard at work, crafting intricate textures that will bring the A-1H Skyraider's cockpit to life. Obviously not applied as yet, these are all untextured renders. With every gauge and instrument being meticulously detailed, as a sneak peek into our progress, we're delighted to showcase rendered images of the cockpit, showcasing the incredible attention to detail. Let's see, do these links actually work? They don't always. Here we go. So here's a bunch of images we've got just now of the cockpit in the Skyraider. Speaking of your opinion, or is that Eli? Yeah, Eli, sorry. What are your thoughts on the early F-14A and the F-4 that are coming out? Well, you know, the F-14A, of course, we've not seen the early model yet, but the normal F-14A is a lot of fun to fly, and it's really, really cool. F-4 Phantom, that's definitely going to be interesting. I'm very much looking forward to that aircraft. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say much more until we actually have them, but I'm definitely really psyched for the Phantom. And the thing is, it's heat blur, so you know it's going to be quality. You know it's going to be good. Like, have heat blur ever disappointed us? I don't think so. I think ED have disappointed us more than heat blur ever have, and that's, you know, I really like ED's products, but yeah, F-16 launch anyone. But no, heat blur, you know, they nail it every time. So expectations are high. That's almost certainly part of the reason why the F4 is somewhat delayed. You know, they're making sure that they give us a really good release, and I would suspect that that's exactly what we're going to get. Keith, the stick is a great budget joystick, but it's not a HOTAS. FA-18 Super Hornet, Keith, thanks. What about the compatibility? Yeah, you're not going to have any problems with compatibility. Basically, anything that's a controller that has a USB on it, they use a single driver. Like, there's no special software, there's no special drivers. USB has a standard for human input devices, so that's not going to cause you any problems. Darth Ursu, have you been spending any more time in the SE? I've been running into more radar issues, dropping targets and completely failing. Turn radar off and back on, cycle, it works. I actually haven't flown the F-15 at all, really. I've been spending a lot of time in the Harrier and in the Gazelle, most recently. So I'm kind of holding off on the F-15 a little bit. You know, it's a brilliant early access release. There's really no problem with it. It's just, of course, it's incomplete at this stage, and there will almost certainly be some bugs, although I've not seen that many. But the main thing for me is that, you know, there's a lot of functionality still to be implemented, and so I'm waiting for some of that to turn up. Darth Urso. 400 plus hours in her now? Bloody hell. Okay. How? How are you doing this, man? Tog, got to head into town for a bit. Probably won't be back before the end of today's show, so I'll say it now. Don't forget to pimp that VAF. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Yes, please do, everyone, if you haven't already. ASD, off topic. What did you fly in the RAF? Cool to hear about real pilots enjoying DCS. No, sorry, I was in the VAF, which is the Virtual Air Force. Very, very important to note. I've never been in the Royal Air Force. I'm a real pilot, but I'm a private pilot. I've never been a military pilot in the real world. So this flight suit is something that I used to wear when I was doing online missions in the Virtual Air Force. So I'm afraid it's much sadder and nerdier than you were hoping. I'm not a real military pilot. I'm not a veteran. And this is not... It actually is a real flight suit, but it's not a military... Well, you know, I didn't get it from the military. I bought it in a shop. So yes, I'm just a nerd wearing a flight suit sitting in his living room. So I'm afraid there's nothing I can tell you about the real Royal Air Force. Pink Floyd. In the podcast, Wags said the CH-47 is next in the pipeline, but there is disagreement as to whether he meant for release or for coding. I want my Chinook. I think when it comes to Eagle Dynamics, yes, the Chinook is the next aircraft that they will release, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, it's what they're currently working on, and it's what they will release next. They have been working on a MiG-29, but it's super uncertain what its future is, because it's been announced and cancelled and then announced again, at least one time each. So It's really hard to know what's going to happen with the MiG-29. I hope we get it someday, but I think they have some concerns about releasing it. Darth Urso, I've been waiting since 85. Microsoft is F-15 Strike Eagle to fly her. I fly her every day. Wow, nice. It is like the F-15, let's be honest. Strike Eagle, it's a cool plane. I played F-15E Strike Eagle by Jane's a lot back in the day. And yes, I will definitely fly it quite a lot when it's more complete. Interesting story. Flight suits are actually really comfy. Actually, yes. It holds everything sort of where it should be. Yeah, I feel pretty good. This is maybe getting a little bit tight on me these days, especially around the shoulders. But I think it's still serviceable. I could still wear this. Funnily enough, the last time that I wore a flight suit in a real aeroplane was back when I was an air cadet. I was in the RAF cadets, in the air cadets, but I was never actually in the RAF, sadly. Eli, I think it's been postponed due to Russian laws. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think if you tried to release anything simulating Russian aircraft right now, you would have problems, especially Eagle Dynamics, who actually have employees in the Russian Federation, so that could be bad for them. Charts need some VAF patches. Absolutely, I'm going to get some. I'm going to get some VAF patches made up. I'll speak to VAF people in the Discord if anyone else wants some Velcro backed. Actually, I guess I don't need to Velcro back them because this has Velcro bits that I could just sew the patches onto. So yeah, I'll maybe get some patches made up, and if other VAFers want them, I'll organise that. Pink Floyd, excellent for the CH-47. Meanwhile, Razbam casually doing the MiG-23. MiG-23 is quite a bit older. I think you can get away with the MiG-23. 29, on the other hand, is still current. Yeah, there's going to be a Korean map. That's correct. Yeah, Dancer. Well, as long as it only gets tighter around the shoulders, it should be fine. Yet, surprisingly, I thought this wouldn't still fit me because I thought the middle-aged spread had taken its toll, but actually it fits me fine around the stomach. So I actually don't even have it adjusted all the way out on the stomach. He says, bragging. Darth, 50 likes for VAF patches. Woo! Yeah, I should do some merchandise at some point. I should just generally sell VAF patches and Deepak t-shirts, see if anyone wants that. Seanam81, flight suits are comfy unless they are wool with the fire retardant not completely washed off. Then they're super itchy. You're talking about some pretty old school flight suits, I think. I remember the Harrier, the RAF Harrier pilots talking about in the early days having the flight suits, and then you had the wool liner underneath if it was like cold conditions, and people complaining about that thing. So yeah. Tech Gaming 45, I'm late, but I'm here. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we're just having a little look at the Skyraider cockpit renders here. This is nice. This is really, really nice. Is that a tray? The aircraft? What? The aircraft has a tray? Like an Airbus? Is that for like your map, or is that for you to eat your lunch? What? Okay. Oh, and this is back at the F-100, the scanning they were doing. Right. Chat, does anyone know what the hell's going on here? Surely that's going to make it difficult to operate the stick. Yeah, apparently it has a fold-out tray. Oh my, I wonder what that was actually used for. Is that for your sandwiches, or is that for the map? Oh dear. Very nice. Interesting story. I wear a Nomex one in helicopters for work. It's fire-resistant but quite airy. Yeah, this one's, I think, not fire-resistant. I think this is just... I don't even know what this is made of, but it claims to be an actual flight suit. But I wouldn't use this for anything other than private flying. I don't think this is up to military standards at all. Military standards, he says, having never been in the military and so not realizing how much of a joke that is. The borscht and pickle tray, the charcuterie tray. Oh, brilliant! Yeah, let's get this out on a tray. Anyway, jumping back to the news, let's scroll down to where we were. Radar weapon systems progress. The team has achieved significant milestones with the AN-APS-6 radar pod, specifically tailored for the A-1H Skyraider. The detailed architecture design guarantees a seamless integration of hardware components, signal processing algorithms, and data integration, creating an authentic recreation of this early radar system. The successful implementation of core signal processing algorithms enables good aircraft detection and tracking. Currently, our functional radar prototype is undergoing rigorous testing and calibration, ensuring accurate and reliable results. And then, future development efforts. In addition to the very high attention to detail, the team are crafting lifelike animations and intricate textures that will breathe life into every gauge and instrument, providing an unparalleled cockpit experience. The team is dedicated to delivering a highly immersive, visually stunning environment that captures the essence of flying the iconic A-1H Skyraider. Whether you're an air-to-air or air-to-ground enthusiast, this robust and versatile aircraft will undoubtedly become a favourite in your virtual hangar. Stay tuned as the project progresses towards the release of this remarkable addition to the DCS family. Discover the full experience of the DCS A-1H Skyraider and explore more at crosstailstudios.com. Which I've clicked on and nothing is happening. Oh, there we go. It was just a bit slow. So there you go. Oof, you can buy a keychain. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I like that. I like merchandise. But have they got anything in their news? Yes, they had a development report. Actually, just yesterday. It's nice. Very, very nice. Cool, cool, cool. Where does this take us? Oh yeah, this takes us to the original video. Cool, alrighty. I'll go ahead and play that just now. I've got the audio muted. Cool. Let's play this one while we talk further. Tech Gaming 45, my flight suit is a banana onesie. Well, that is tactical. So very, very nice indeed. VAF piddle packs too. Oof. VAF branded piddle packs. Yes, absolutely. Yep, Mr. Yeti, no fun having a hobby and an interest if you can't buy things for it. I agree. I may be a complete nerd sitting in my living room wearing a flight suit, but I'm okay with it. I've come to accept myself as I am. Oh dear. Evening, John Bluer. Welcome to the stream. Oof, yeah. This is a very, very nice trailer, this one. Really well put together. And actually, the audio and the music are brilliant, but I'm not going to play it because I'll get copyright struck. So I'm afraid you'll have to go and watch it yourselves if you want to enjoy the excellent audio. Digital Combat Simulator. Skyraider. Nice. Does not represent the quality of the final product. Oh yeah, and of course, a reminder, the E19, Echo 19 are doing the audio. That's really cool. Very nice indeed. So, on to the next story. This comes to us courtesy of Stormbirds. Always check out stormbirds.blog. Really, really excellent DCS news source. Baltic Dragon and Reflected Simulations announce Arctic Thunder plus no Mozzie co-op yet. Both Baltic Dragon and Reflected Simulations have produced some outstanding story-driven campaigns for DCS World, and they're plotting a significant release following the launch of Orbex's DCS Kola Peninsula, a map that we saw some new images of just recently. Here's a background to the series. They'll be set in 2023, where NATO forces fend off Russian attack against Finland. Many missions will be intertwined, which means you will experience the same situations seen from the cockpit of US Viper or Finnish Hornet as parts of the same strike package, or just flying separate sorties at the same time. This feels a little bit too real. 2023, NATO forces fending off Russian attack against Finland. You know, it's not going to happen, but it's not impossible. I feel like we're in a world where this kind of thing could happen. Anyway. Ooh, okay. Tech Gaming 45. I think those are my modded boats getting shot up. Big shout out to Tech Gaming 45 if that's the case. Very, very cool to be included in their trailer. Very nice. John Bluer. How they'd support the rescue helos in Vietnam. Very nice, very nice. Stormbirds for the win. Absolutely, Pink Floyd. The statement also indicates that the pair are already well at work on the missions. However, they are going to have to wait until the map itself releases. Well, you know, you don't say. Release date, of course, depends on the pace of the development of the map itself. Imagine releasing the campaign before the map's out. But we're working closely with Orbex to have everything we need for a good set of missions implemented at the release. Stay tuned for more information. Some DCS World maps have launched with little in the way of mission and campaign support from the start, so this should offer a unique opportunity. And Reflected talks candidly about co-op missions. So many of us have often asked about flying co-op missions together with our friends. You can actually, I've done this. You can kind of do it if you. The thing is, you have to go in and edit the missions in most cases, and so the possibility of you messing up the missions or you kind of changing what the designer originally intended is pretty high. Using some of our favourite missions and campaigns, although it seems like a simple enough change from the outside, a candid message from Reflected on why he is not releasing a new co-op mission for the Mosquito goes into some detail on why it's such a challenge to make this work. It's a good video, thanks for sharing. I do get asked a lot about why don't I make co-op or multiplayer missions. People really seem to enjoy what I make single player and really want to play them with their friends online. Some even tell me it's easy, just convert the aircraft to client. Winking face. The missions I like to make involve exactly what Reflected says. Triggers that monitor cockpit switch conditions, radio frequencies, radar contacts, RWR spikes, things like that. They do not work in a multiplayer environment. It's not a question of not being scripted right. It's just it doesn't work in multiplayer. You cannot use them. There are the things that make our style of mission special and immersive, and it just can't be converted over. Yeah, that's absolutely the case, of course. So much of the scripting, if you're doing really in-depth scripting, it can be single-player specific. And so it may well be the case that there's no way for him to convert these missions to multiplayer. Sean I Am 81, there's some great scenes in Flight of the Intruder with the A-1H. I think I need to rewatch that tonight. I've not seen that film in such a long time. I also need to rewatch that. Pink Floyd, Shamrock from Stormbirds is about 500 kilometers from me in Canada. That's practically around the corner. Yeah, Canadians will just drive that kind of distance in a day. Stiggy Wiggy, did you watch the vlog with Wags? Yes, that's actually the next thing we're going to cover. Darth Urso, a gift for the DCS community. Turn off SSAO or any ambient occlusion running in DCS. Use Reshade and use ambient occlusion shader 15 to 30 FPS increase. I was able to get 55 FPS in Normandy 2.0 after. Top tip from Darth Urso. Sounds like a good idea. I've heard, in multiple games, people talking about disabling the in-game graphical features and using external ones to get FPS increases. So, yeah, that sounds like a pretty solid recommendation. Okay, and moving on, another story from Stormbirds.blog. Although I've watched this interview myself, Matt Wagner is interviewed by The Mover and Gonky Show, and Wombat is also present. I wonder, does he poo cubes? Anyway, Eagle Dynamics Matt Wagner has long been a public face for Eagle Dynamics and for DCS World in general. Matt was recently the guest of The Mover and Gonky Show, where they discussed a lot of different aspects of DCS World, among other things. I've got some key takeaways from the show and some related quotes. Let's have a look. I did actually watch this myself. They spent a bit of time talking about AI, mostly actually about its applications in the real world. And then they talked about DCS World itself, about module development. There was a whole load of really good questions actually from Movers viewers. So that was very, very nice to see. Stiggy Wiggy, I watch a video and copied his settings, and now my DCS in VR is so clear. Okay. That's very nice. Very, very nice. I've done some fiddling with my VR performance as well. I was using OpenXR, and there is the OpenXR toolkit, which allows you to do a bunch of tweaks. I've had some quite good results from that, but I'm sure there's still more that can be done. So, some notes. Let's go down to Stormbird's notes here, what he got out of it. CH47 is the main module they're busy with, says Stiggy Wiggy. Yep, that is correct. So yeah, some of the themes of the chat included quite a bit of discussion about the fine line that DCS World walks when seeking to realistically simulate air combat while also not using classified resources and not giving away too much to potential adversaries. Paraphrasing what Matt said in this section, he said that DCS as a game, and actually this is a very important point, Matt Wagner early in the stream made the point that DCS is a game, not a simulator. I think he called it a flight simulation game, but very clearly stated it's a game. I know this is something that comes up in the community from time to time, but yeah. It is indeed a game. Anyway, it needs to be sure that it's not too realistic so that it becomes useful to adversaries as an op4 trainer. A lot of those sensitivities seem to guide a lot of their module making and aircraft decision making process. He even mentions that when working towards module release, they do talk to their SMEs, and if something doesn't pass the smile test on the information is public, they remove it. And he did in fact mention that they did so with the Apache. Close to the release of the Apache, they removed some features because they were worried that they were not actually in the public domain. Another segment had the group talk about real-world AI and how next-generation systems like loyal wingman projects. With AI powering those systems, how will they potentially change the nature of air combat? Yeah, these are very kind of cool ideas, things like loyal wingman. So yeah, let's focus on some key DCS points. Ground movement for infantry, currently an older animation. An updated animation is coming and is being made right now. With so many 4th gen aircraft already done, Eagle Dynamics is looking at Cold War, Century Series, Pacific World War II, and ground combined arms. They would like to do a detailed simulation of ground units and have them operating on the same battlefield as helicopters and jets. Yeah, they're feeling like they're actually starting to run out of aircraft to simulate in the kind of modern era. I still would like to see a Gripen E. But hey. No Ukraine map or Taiwan map, as both are considered too sensitive. But we have... I guess that's why they removed Crimea as well. But anyway. Because I was thinking about the Caucasus map. You would think the Caucasus map is actually quite sensitive as well. But they did many years ago now take out Crimea. The dynamic campaign is still in progress. Currently working on the Chinook CH-47F glass cockpit version and the F-6F Hellcat right now. Hornet and Viper radars are being worked on and the lock-on problem is being solved. The Hornet flight control system flight model is being reworked. The briefing break room is coming to the supercarrier probably by the end of the year. They did also mention Pri-Flight as well. Top Gun 2 did help with the sales of DCS modules. Matt points out they did do a special package, the Be a Maverick pack with the F-14, F-18 and Supercarrier. Destructible trees was asked about. Someday is the answer, but nothing immediate. It would be a big change to the core technology of the maps. I think this one they'd have a very hard time doing. They will do a Korea map and a Vietnam map eventually, not being done right now though. Several maps are coming before. Matt was asked about getting Saab Gripen or Rafael. I'm always really bad at pronouncing that. Matt says the problem with the 4+ gen is getting the resources. Mover mentions that he's interviewed the folks at Saab before and said he'd do an introduction. You never know what could come from that. Would really like to see a Gripen. A question was asked about getting the Flanker as a full fidelity DCS module. Matt reports that it's the same problem as always and data is a problem. He does mention that there are more resources available on the Fulcrum rather than the Flanker. So, the MiG-29 is something we would like to do for sure, says Big Nui on the DCS forums, but we have to comply with rules and laws in many countries regarding information about aircraft and their avionics. To create the high-fidelity aircraft you would expect from us, we need to use public, unclassified information only. Regarding the teams, no matter where they are in the world, their safety comes first. I think this, this is hinting at the fact that their people working in Russia would be at risk. So, yes. John Bloor, Wags is such a Chad. That was a great podcast. F5 rework when? We have been promised the F5 rework, and we've been led to believe it's coming soon, but we don't know when. Evil Clown, why is the Ukraine war too sensitive for anyone to even speak about? I don't think it's that it's too sensitive to speak about. I think it's... they wouldn't want there to be a Ukraine map, because of course that could be used... Well, let's be clear, it could be used by Russia for training. So, Eagle Dynamics is not comfortable with creating a product that could be used by the aggressive side. I think that's it, basically. Same goes for Taiwan. You can imagine the Chinese military using DCS to wargame attacks on Taiwan. I don't think Eagle Dynamics wants to be involved with that. So I think it's fairly unlikely that they're going to release a map for anywhere that is a current war zone, simply because it could actually be used as a training product. Stiggy Wiggy, they're working on paratroopers. Well, he hinted they might be. He wasn't sure. F-18 Super Hornet, when are they going to add the DTC for the Hornet and the Viper? It is on the public roadmap for the F-16 and the F-18, but it's right down at the bottom, which makes me think it's coming later. 7.5, I'd love to see ground to the level of Arma 3 for true combined arms. They should probably start by improving and fixing combined arms, though, and animations. Again, let's be clear, we're never going to see something of the detail level of Arma 3. Arma 3 is primarily an infantry combat simulator. You're not going to get that level of detail on the ground in a flight simulator. It's too much to balance. Now, of course, they can make it much, much better, and even if you take a look at kind of the Caucasus map versus something like the Syria map, they've already gone a long, long way. Like doing low-level combat or even combined arms on the Syria map is now at the point where it's actually kind of fun and doable. Like the terrain is complex enough. Isn't DCS a Russian firm, or did it change? Well, their publisher is British, and Eagle Dynamics themselves are now based, as of the last 8 years or so, they've been based in Switzerland. So no, they are not a Russian company, but they do have premises in, I think it's Moscow or St. Petersburg, and they do have Russian employees. So this could be difficult for them. Evil Clown, Russian already has a satellite detailed map of the world. Thanks for the reply. Of course they do, and all major militaries do. But of course, any product simulating an active war zone could be used for training of the aggressor. So, yeah, they don't want to do that, don't want to be involved with that. Charts, we have plenty of great maps for what we need, I think. Yeah, true. Well, the more the merrier. He also talked about the fact that they are working on the worldwide map as well, which would be a low-fidelity map, which would cover the entire surface of the Earth. Now, would that be as much fun as using a detailed map like Syria or South Atlantic? Probably not, but it does mean that you can then simulate an engagement anywhere in the world, to a slightly lower level of detail. So that's kind of fun. F-18 Super Hornet. Also, what about the terrain avoidance radar mode and the extra settings for delivery and terminal phase of GPS weapons of the Hornet? Are they coming at some point? Well, let's find out. Let's go and have a look at the public roadmap for the F-18, because I honestly don't remember. But they've got a post. Let's see if I can find it now. Roadmap. Here we go. Roadmap for early access. Let's bring this up once I find the correct bit. Here we go, and I will share this with you all. So we're all the way down to currently in progress, update of the external lights. Yes, the Hornet, its position lights are visible from space. Update the pilot model is in progress. Update the radar performance is in progress. INS GPS full simulation and carrier alignment is in progress. So there we go. Pardon me. Coming later, and also in the roadmap, is auto loft mode and remaining JDAM and JSO functions. So there you go. Yes, we're getting those. JPFU settings. Mark 77 Firebomb is coming. The Gen X decoy. And additional MSI functions after early release. So yeah, what was you asked about the terrain avoidance radar mode? Not mentioned, which might mean it's not coming. Yep, it doesn't. It's not mentioned at all in here. So I would assume not. Mr. Yeti, I'm wary of world map. Feel that it could spread out the players too much on MP. Current maps concentrate players and pilots. You could say that also the current system of maps, you could make the point that it splits the player base, because any given server could be running Syria or Persian Gulf or Sinai or South Atlantic, and people not owning those maps are then excluded. So a world map, much like the free modules, could be a way of being more inclusive for new players. So, you know, two sides to that argument. Yeah, there's always different ways of looking at it. So that's actually all the news that we had for this week. It was a decent news week. Really good to see information on the A-1H coming up. That's really, really cool. Excited to see that aircraft, despite it being, you know, a prop plane. But I am rather excited to see that one come. While we're on the topic of core DCS, DLSS when? Also Vulcan. In the same breath, I would say. We don't know. We know that it's being worked on. The multi-core was a big performance improvement. DLSS and Vulcan would be an additional one. I can only assume that they're working on it now. Some of the videos that Matt Wagner has released on his channel have been labeled that they were filmed with DLSS enabled on a development version of the game. So that means that, at least in their internal alpha channel, DLSS is already enabled. Mr. Yeti, you have a flight suit on, so you are, of course, correct. Thank you. Yeah, if only wearing the right clothes would make you right. Yeah. Pink Floyd, I'd like a world map just for the fun of flying from here to there. It's a nice high fidelity jet, better than MSFS. I agree, actually, that would be a bit of fun. Yeah, just doing ferry flights and things like that would be kind of fun with a world map. So, it's that time. As always, it's time to pimp the VAF. The VAF, or the Virtual Air Force, is a virtual online squadron originally started by myself and dotChuckles. It has an opt-in milsim approach. People can join and fly in any aircraft that they would like. Alternatively, you've got the option of joining one of our numbered internal squadrons and doing kind of training and type ratings and all that kind of stuff. We currently run internal squadrons for the Apache, the Harrier, the A-10, the F-16, the F-18, and the F-15. And all of them are currently recruiting. You'll see a link to our Discord in the chat now. Also, if you're watching this after the fact, it's in the show notes below. Everybody is welcome to join the Discord, hang out and chat, whether you fly with us or not. We do sessions every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 PM UK time. We're currently doing a series of training sessions, and then in a few weeks we're actually going to begin a series of campaign missions. So come join us for all of that. We're always looking for more pilots. We're always looking for more radar operators, mission makers, scripters. We're looking for everybody. Everybody is very, very welcome to join us. F-18 Super Hornet, do you do training too? Yes, we do. We do full training, we do type ratings and additional qualifications. That's handled inside each of the numbered squadrons. So we currently, as I said, do training for Apache, Harrier. I am, in fact, the Harrier squadron lead, so it's myself that would do training with you, along with Alchemist, who's my 2IC. What did I say again? Harrier, Apache, A-10, F-18, F-16, F-15. All are welcome. Come join us now. So yeah, that's it. That's the VAF, and that's basically all I have for this week. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. It's such a big help to me and to the channel. If you also have the option of joining DeepHack's ground crew for a small monthly fee. You can do that by clicking the join button below. Thank you very much to everybody who's already done so. That's such a big help to the channel. And also, I'm going to be organising some flying sessions with those of you who are in DeepHack's ground crew. So big shout out to all of you. Thank you very much, Harish Rajan, Byron Farrow, Storm Kimbari, Channel Right. This list keeps jumping. Mangash, J.R. Walker, Chandler Hedgevald, Griff Nizzle, Mr. Yeti, Bread, Tier Zero, Erdinkertan, Tiger Moto, Sean IM81, Charts, John Blur, Veli Tapani Korpikanas, Mike Delta, Sergei Dubrovic, Ogatai36, Hamilton, Frantic Stone, Sandbox Code, Mr. Craptacular, Tog, Kitsume, Rocklin Gaming, Tea Kettle Barbecue, Schmo78, Alex, Colonel Billington, Matt, Flu Diddy, Jurgen Dressel, and Aaron Redman. Oh, and Pink Floyd. Thank you very much, all of you, for your support. It's a really, really big help. John Blur, have a great evening, Deep. Always enjoy the news segments. Thank you very much. I've been Deepak. I release a new tutorial video every Saturday at 6:30 PM UK time. That's then always followed by the DCS news, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Fly safe, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta.